They called him the Uncatchable, a shadow in the night, a whisper on the wind. No door could hold him. No trap could catch him. No guard could stop him. For years, the thief stole from the richest cities, the highest towers, the most secure vaults. Gold vanished, jewels disappeared. Crowns were lifted from pillows as kings slept soundly. He was invisible, invincible, until the day he tried to steal from God. He laughed at the idea. God? He scoffed. Even the heavens can't guard against me. So the thief set his sights on heaven's gate. On a moonless night, cloaked in silence, he climbed the tallest mountain where earth met sky. And there, at the edge of all things, he found it. A door of light, humming with eternity. He picked the lock. It clicked open with no resistance. Inside, treasure beyond imagination, shimmered light that could heal, voices that sang before time began. And in the center stood a small, radiant box. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The thief grinned. This must be it. He reached out, and the moment his fingers touched the box, everything stopped. The stars froze. Time paused. Silence roared. Then, a voice, not loud, but infinite, spoke. You've stolen from kings, from men, from earth, but I am not them. The thief turned, trembling. There stood God, not angry, not wrathful, but sorrowful. Why? God asked. What were you looking for in all those treasures? The thief opened his mouth, but found no answer. He saw then, not the vaults he'd broken, but the hearts he'd emptied. The children who went hungry, the fear he left behind. Tears came, real tears. The kind he hadn't shed since he was a child. A child once abandoned, once hungry, once broken. God stepped forward and did the unthinkable. He opened the box. Inside was no gold, no crown, just a single word, written in eternal light. Forgiven. The thief collapsed, and when he rose, he was no longer the uncatchable thief. He was the one who had finally been caught, not by chains, but by grace. In the stillness that followed, God showed him everything. Every broken lock, every trembling hand, every tear behind every treasure. And for the first time, the thief didn't run from the truth. He faced it. He wept, he repented, and he confessed. Not out of fear, but out of a heart cracked open by mercy. He knelt before God not as a thief, but as a changed man. A man who had stolen so much and now wanted only one thing, to make it right, to return it all. Silently, secretly, he began the journey back. Piece by piece, he returned every stolen treasure. He left them at doorsteps, in empty vaults. On royal pillows, no one saw him, but all knew. The uncatchable thief was returning what he had taken. He prayed. He asked God, not for riches, not for fame, but for a new life. A life devoted entirely to God, who had caught him with love. God smiled and gave him something he'd never stolen, never earned, a small pouch of gold, enough to begin again. So he did. He built a small shop with honest hands. He worked from dawn till dusk, remembering every moment what grace had given him. He prayed, not out of habit, but with burning devotion. His business grew, not just in profit, but in purpose. He fed the hungry, clothed the poor, built homes for orphans, gave generously, joyfully. People whispered about the merchant with kind eyes and a mysterious past, but he didn't speak of it. He only said, I just trust God, until God gave me something I never knew I needed, forgiveness. And every night, under a quiet sky, he knelt by his bed and whispered the same prayer. Thank you, God, for changing and correcting me. That is how God caught the uncatchable thief. Not with power, not with punishment, but with mercy,